play where they scored the touchdown with 6 seconds left. It was clear how badly y'all wanted to make that stop. How much of that was just defensive pride, and how much of it was wanting to keep that 20-point win streak going?
No, we wasn't thinking about a 20-point win streak. We were just thinking about not letting anybody score. We don't want anybody to score ever. That's just our mindset. We ain't worried about that. We just want to win by one more point than the opponent. We're not worried about a number, 20 or 1. A win is a win. That has never entered into our mindset. We just don't want anybody to score. It's just pride in what we do.
Dabo, Amari Rogers gets on the field today. What can you say to his work ethic and his mindset with him to come back in such a short period of time and be productive like that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He wanted to play last week, and he's been begging me to let him play. He sent me a text 2 days ago. Coach, please trust me. I'm ready. I'm like, this guy's unbelievable. And but he's you have the metrics with your medical staff. He's way above that. It's just unbelievable. So everybody's just kind of in awe at what he's been able to do. And so it was awesome. We're gonna put it. They didn't punt in that last. We were hoping to get a punt on that last drive, and we were gonna put it back there on the punt. But it was great to see him out there. He's practiced really well last week and this week, and it's a huge shot in the arm for us to get a guy like Amari Rogers back. He's a great football player. He's a great leader. He brings a lot to our team. He's tough. He's hard to tackle. He's got excellent ball skills. He's dynamic. He can do a lot, and he's smart. He's a very experienced player for us. So it's a huge shot in the arm for us to get him back. And to be honest with you, I've been looking for a reason not to play him, but I can't find anything. Every challenge that we put him against, whether it's press coverage versus AJ Terrell, it's tackling him and having to see him get tackled and knocked around in practice, whatever it is. He's been awesome. His acceleration, he looks great. So just hats off to our medical staff. Our doctors obviously did a great job, trainers, but man, he's just put in a lot of work. And he just, great DNA.
What kind of example is he to the other players, though? They're also maybe having to deal with injuries later on down the road.
Yeah, sure. He's a great example. It's a great example for him too. On how you handle some adversity. You just attack it and you pick yourself up and you go back to work. But certainly to other guys on this team, because there'll be guys, that just the course of the season they'll get banged up and have injuries, and you just attack your rehab and work your tail off and go above and beyond. And that's a great example to everybody.
How would you assess the year-to-year growth of your underclassmen, especially against a quality opponent from last year to this year, especially because of the fact you had a lot of contributors not just a year ago, but this year as well among your underclassmen?
Last year we had some of these guys, like Ross only played 1 snap last year. Cervenka, I think he played 1 snap last year. So they kind of overcame their coaching last year in this game. I think Etienne only had 8 touches. So I lost my mind. I didn't watch the game, but anyway, those guys have done great. I think we were young last year. That was a tough game early in the season, and we played Furman. Played triple option, and now you go out and it's the first time you're kind of seeing a passing attack, and we're inexperienced on the back end. And we played great up until the fourth quarter, and we just kind of got exposed. And then they made some unbelievable plays. If you really watch the game, there were some plays that were like, wow, just incredible. We were right there, and we just didn't make it. And they did. But I think our growth and maturity is pretty obvious in those guys. You look at Denzel, you look at Nolan, Skowski. Skowski, I don't think played in that game last year. Chad, what he's done with his growth and development. Isaiah Simmons was a first-year starter, really playing in his kind of first big game last year. He's still learning how to line up. So we're just much more disciplined. And obviously we lost Trayvon, but I tell you that DK is and Mario, those 2 guys have really given us some stability over there at corner.
You said you didn't notice DK last week. How much?
Yeah, I noticed him a lot today because they kept throwing at him. I didn't notice 8. I don't think they threw at 8 very much. But I told DK before the game. I said, I told him last night in our meeting. I said, hey, whoever's in opposite 8, that's where the ball's going. They're not dummies. They're going to challenge us way more than we got challenged last week. So I thought DK did a great job. I mean, he was all around as the guy. He played the ball well. He kept his poise. You know, he wasn't grabby and things like that. He played good technique. And for a guy kind of in that first time, you know, and he gets it every day in practice. So it's not like he's not challenged, but in his first big game environment to really have the ball come his way a lot, I thought he really did a heck of a job.
Coach, I deliberately didn't mention during the week, but I think it's 5 straight games now that you won the turnover margin. In the past, you had to win a lot of games in spite of the turnover margin, not because of it. But how nice is it to have that kind of working in your favor now?
Yeah, something we talk a lot about. I think we were even today. Is that right? We're even. Were we even in the margin? Yeah, we were even. We had one. They had one.
Beg your pardon. I thought you had 2.
But did we have 2?
You had the interception and the fumble, did you not?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had the fumble.
Two
Yeah,
to
we
one.
did. Yeah, we're +1. Yeah, thank you, Ross.
Yeah.
Been on the job. I said, Ross, we win tomorrow. We're even. I didn't think about it. Yeah, we did. That gummit did that fumble. I think Nolan Turner calls the fumble.
He did.
He calls
Skowski
it.
recovered.
Yeah, and then we had the pick. +1. That's right.
That's what I get for majoring in journalism. Coach.
I love it.
I probably just jinxed it.
Yeah, hey, you know, we talk about that every week. You know, Tanoga Tuesday, that's always our turnover day. We talk about it, taking care of the ball and winning that margin. I think, I was going over the stat, and I think it might be, it's either since I've been a head coach or since like 2011, but we've won like 94% of the time. But when you add, if you have at least 2 more big plays than the opponent, you win 98% of the time. So it's a huge part of our plan to win and what we talk about. But yeah, it's big. It's big. And you can come out on the plus side of things. And then not only that, we've scored off of turnovers, and that's like an astronomical number. Whatever we've scored off of turnovers, we've got 1 million points, and we haven't given up any. In fact, I don't know.
69 to nothing.
What is it?
69 to nothing.
69 to nothing off of turnovers in the last, whatever. Wow. So that's complimentary football, and that's what we talk about all the time. Bad things happen, but it's what do you do with it? So they have a turnover, complimentary football, we go score. We have a turnover, we get a stop. And man, you win a lot of games that way. So it's a huge part of our plan to win, something we talk about every single week, and obviously you can measure it.
Coach, there's a history with Florida State Jimbo battle that you guys had, but last year you had one game, Texas A&M Jimbo footage to go off of. This year, in the whole season, was the difference evident in what you saw here today, and how your players knew what was coming and reactions?
No doubt about it. We didn't. That was a hard game last year. It was really hard. I mean, going into the game again. We're coming off of a triple option prep, and then you spend your whole time studying Notre Dame, because that's where the D coordinator come from, and you're studying Florida State, and it's just hard. And then you get in the game, and there's some unknowns, and it just kind of is what it is this time of year. You don't really know what the identity of their team is or their personnel. So yeah, to be able to study 14 games, 13 last year, and their opener against Texas State, to have 14 games, you can really, get an identity of the team, and also their personnel, and vice versa. They certainly knew a lot more about us last year than we knew about them. But that was definitely helpful in our preparation this year, for sure.
Dabo, one of the wrinkles that one of the wrinkles I saw today was going back to the 4 safety look and putting Isaiah high at safety, and that really seemed to throw Mond off in his progressions.
Yeah, again, that just gives us some we got a guy like Isaiah who we can do a lot of things with, whether it be coverage, whether it's run support, whether it's sacking, blitzing the quarterback. There's a lot we can do with him, and just that the ability to get Denzel in the game or Nolan in the game and give us another, a little more speed on the field, but then also have the ability to have that hybrid guy in Isaiah to kind of let him, play middle field, be a spy. There's a lot that you can do with him. Is something that I think, hopefully caught him off guard a little bit today.
You said last week was a work in progress for this defense, but going from last week to this week, how big of a deal? How much growth did you see, I guess, today from last week compared to this week.
Well, I mean, listen, like I said, we played an ACC team and an SEC team. You know, 2 Power 5 teams to open up your season with one of the youngest teams that I've had. So I can't overstate enough how proud I am of our staff and our guys and the leadership of this team for just, you know, showing up ready and really putting the work in to prepare, and then just the effort that I've seen. I mean, the guys have played incredibly hard. You know, last week was a tough game for us too. Again, kind of similar to A&M last year. I don't know that I've ever been into a game as blind as we were last week. But to dominate the game and really play clean. I mean, we had a few mistakes and there were a couple penalties, but we really played a pretty clean game. We played 90 guys, and then to come back this week against a team that I think a lot of people feel like will challenge for the West in the SEC. And really control the game, especially up front.